Hey, in honor of Mother's Day, I am going to be revealing your mom secrets. So go ahead and grab your mom and do not watch this video together. So I joined Thunder when I was 8. Do you mean Tinder? Or is there something called Thunder that I don't know about? And I met this really great guy, Jeff. I already hate this story because my dad's name is Jeff. We started talking and planned to meet up. Anyways, I had a school dance on Saturday and it was going to end pretty late, so Jeff and I decided to meet at a bar. It's really hard for me to get through this secret because my dad's name is Jeff. I went with my dad. That's not what you wrote. I went with my friends and we met up and had fun and he brought me a rose. He was also a really good kisser. Anyways, the night ended and we later went on a couple of dates. I was falling for this guy. My mom and I went to the mall one day and I saw him hold hands with another girl. Oh, that's so sad. I'm not into drama, so I just continued with my day and later texted him asking who she was. He told me it's his girlfriend. I was a side chick without knowing. Anyways, I'm over that whole drama now. He works at a restaurant and I sometimes go there and I tip the waiters good money just to see the annoyance on his face. You, Jeff. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like you're over the whole drama now. Sounds like you're very much in the drama still. So, yeah. R.I.P. to my childhood. Once when I was 8, I heard my mom moaning hella hard, and it sounded like she couldn't breathe. Well, I told my older brother to come listen at the door with me. He tells me to look through the keyhole. It was a very old house, so I did. I see my mother sucking her boyfriend off. I had no idea what that was at the time, so I asked my brother why my mom was eating a hot dog between her boyfriend's legs. To this day, my mother doesn't know that I saw her sucking dick, and I'm a vegetarian. I would be if that happened and I perceived it as so. I'm sorry. I have trauma from this. You probably won't see this, but if you do, just to set the scene, I was in 5th grade. It was the first day, and after school's done, me and a few kids and our parents walked to this frozen yogurt place, and we were chilling outside. It's a nice day, and I'm looking into the street, and a kid gets hit by a car, smoosh splat. Smoosh splat. And then I look at the car and it was my aunt's car and I saw her get out. I don't know how my mom didn't see her, but we still see her to this day and I don't think she knows that I know, and I haven't told anyone she killed a kid and just lives her life. So you saw a hit and run. There's no way you saw a hit and run and you were sitting with a group of people who did not also see that hit and run. I'm having a hard time believing this, but smoosh splat, you know? R.I.P. maybe. So this is a long story. When I was 14, my mom got married to another woman who also had a daughter. Let's call her Mia. Mia was about 17 at the time and really cool and kinda emo. Mia was a total baddie, and one night when our parents were gone, she woke me up and told me to get dressed. At the time I didn't know her that well, but I wanted to be cool like her, so I played along. She stole her mom's ID and took us to a gay strip club because it was less likely to have creepy guys there. Anyway, she bought some cash and ended up getting a private dance for both of us, done by a girl. By then, I realized I was gay. Then we left and snuck back in through the window. I was intoxicated and gay, so kissed her. She told me she had a girlfriend and I went back to my room. Wouldn't you know that she had a girlfriend if you're living with her and she's like your step-sibling? Anyway, a few minutes later, she came back in my room and said that she was horny, drunk, and gay as fuck, so one thing led to another, wink face. After that one night, we both completely forgot about it and it never came up again until we were at our mountain cabin one weekend and we had some of my mom's vodka and then we ended up hooking up in that hot tub. We hooked up every night for 2 years and then decided to start dating. She had broken up with her girlfriend. We didn't tell our mom and she just proposed to me. I'm 18 now and they still don't know. How should I tell them? They're still married? Oh, I thought it was like they're still married? I don't know. You do know. It's very punctuationally, I understand. How should you tell them? I think you guys should go on a nice family vacation and give this big long speech about how you love being a family and you love it so much that you wanna strengthen your family bond even more and then break the news. That sounds like a really good plan. Good luck! One time when me and my family went to Michigan, I rubbed one out while we were all in the car together. I hate myself. I feel like that's a justifiable reason to hate yourself. I don't mean to be hard on you, but you were hard on you. I also tried to do the same thing when my mom was in bed next to me, but it didn't work. What do you mean it didn't work? Like she noticed, or like you couldn't get hard? Because there's a huge difference. I hope that that you couldn't get hard because you were in bed with your mom. I'm not into my family members or anything. I was just a horny 12-year-old. Love your channel. I love when you guys tell me you love my videos after sharing something really disturbing. What does this mean about me? Anyways, don't masturbate next to your parents. So I'm biracial, mom's white, dad is Indian, and I have a lot of other biracial friends, all of them also half Indian. So we are not religiously Hindu, but we all celebrate, I'm sorry for the mispronunciation that is inevitably coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, Diwali, a Hindu holiday. So me and 2 other friends were going to a Diwali party together with our families, and we all ordered mango lassis, an Indian mango yogurt smoothie drink. Anyways, we all became super crazy and dumped our mango lassis all over the table. Is there alcohol in it? What? And left it for the staff to clean up. Oh, what a pure secret. Like, how beautiful compared to everything else. I spilled my mango lassi and I didn't clean it up. Like, you're an angel. I want to vote for you to be the president of the United States. So if you run, I will show up to the polls. Thank you for your service. As a decent human being. One time when I was 4 to 5, my friend and I used to play baby and mom. We would make a blanket fort in our bedrooms just like any kid did when they were little. She was drinking my milk, aka sucking my tit. I'm 13 now, and looking back on it makes me want to vomit my fucking guts out. P.S. Love you and your bits. The topic of sucking titties is really interesting to me because we do it as babies for the sake of consuming milk, and then we do it as adults for the sake of getting off. And something about that just doesn't sit right with me. I think my mom wants to fuck me and I'm really uncomfortable. I'm a gay male and she knows that. Wow, I love Bates Motel. Okay, so get strapped in for this one and get prepared to judge me ferociously. So after I graduated high school, I started dating this guy who we'll call Peter Peterson. Trust me, his name is worse than this. Peter and I had a weird relationship to begin with, but here's the worst incident by far. So one fateful Wednesday, he brought me 3 pairs of underwear. I thought it was weird that they weren't in a box or had tags or anything, but I let it go. Anyway, we started getting sexy, and he then asks me to shove the underwear in his mouth like a ball gag. Okay, fine, whatever. Not out of the norm, I guess. Anyways, that's not the bad part. About 3 weeks later, I was over his house. He still lived with his parents, and his mom was doing the laundry. His mother then says, "Honey, do you know where my underwear has gone? I'm missing 3 pairs." Let me tell you, I gagged. So did he. So that's how I found out my ex-boyfriend made me shove his mother's panties in his mouth during sex. Happy Mother's Day from me and my therapist. Oh man, that's really bad. I mean, what type of trauma leads you down that path? I'd really like to know. If any of you guys are certified therapists, or just of anyone, please go ahead and write your theory. What the hell causes someone to do that? Also, I want to know, if this happened to you, would it be a deal breaker? I'm thinking about it right now because, like, I love my boyfriend. If this happened, would I end it? Really gets you thinking. Once when I was 10, I went to a public school. My friend group, made up of guys, me being a guy too, would talk about the nasty because we were curious about that, and we talked about it a lot to the point where we made up code words to not get in trouble, of course. And I remember my friend saying that he got a boner watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and his mom walked in. That's just an example of what we talked about. Anyways, I searched up sex on my school computer, and of course it was blocked, but I kept trying, and I cleared my history, but the school still saw it and called my mom, and I got in trouble, and they printed out my history to my mom and gave it to her, and I got whooped and groaned for a month. I feel like you wanted to get whooped and groaned. That sounds right up the alley of your interests. Maybe not by your mom. I'm a mom. I just remembered that I'm a mom. And this is my baby. I love you. I love you. Okay, all right. It's a tough life as a mom. Your kids resent you. You do everything for them. And it's still not enough. So there's this guy I kinda talked to, and we always flirt and stuff. By the way, he lives in Washington and I live in Cali. Anyways, I was looking through his tagged photos on Instagram and his mom had tagged him in something. I then found his dad and brother's IG and found out where he lives as well as what school he went to. I even found all his close friends' accounts. I feel like a crazy stalker, lol, oops. I want to tell my friends, but I got scared and didn't, LMAO. Honestly, I think it would be weird if someone didn't do all of that. Or am I exposing myself right now? I just feel like most ladies do their research. We're educating ourselves before we buy the product, is what I tell myself. My mom was on My Strange Addiction. Yes, she was the piss lady. A secret about her probably came to no surprise, but she has a piss kink. A massive one. Her search history is all man pissing on a small rock. Why a small rock? Why not a big rock? And Juicy Penis decides to relieve himself on the doormat. Literally, help? I just want to leave. This is something I used to do years ago and I really regret it, but sometimes I still think about it and wonder why I did it. For some time in high school, I used to steal money from my mom. I didn't even need it because I'm pretty good at saving up. I think I was really depressed that time and I would cope by trying to buy material things and food. My mom started to notice that some of her money would be missing but dismissed it as her just forgetting what she spent it on. So thinking that I was safe, I kept doing it. Finally, one time I was almost caught. I took money from her wallet while she was in the shower and hid it in my phone case. While I was in the shower though, my mom started screaming that she's sure this time somebody stole money from her because she took photos of her cash before she showered and now one bill is missing. So she made my siblings and me empty out our bags in front of her, but we never found it because I hid it in my phone case and they didn't think to check there. I could never admit to her that it was me, especially because now that I think about it, I got a pretty huge amount in total. My siblings say that they know who it is and are just waiting for the person to admit it. Maybe they all know it was me. I was in a really bad place for a while, but that's not an excuse for my bad behavior. I can't even tell anyone else and nobody else in my life knows. I think I'm doing better now and I've worked so hard to improve myself, but I still regret doing that. Yikes. I think you should tell your mom. I'm sure she would forgive you. And or start putting money back. Like every time it bubbles up inside you and you feel guilty about having stolen money from your mom, go give her $20. Maybe at some point the thoughts will just deteriorate, disintegrate, be gone. Much like all the money you stole from your mom. Was that a poem? Anyways, pay your mom back. Okay, so this is just like a weird secret that disturbed me. So one time I was on a road trip with my dad when I was like 11 and I was watching YouTube on his phone because I didn't have one at the time and I accidentally clicked out of the video I was watching and I went into the watch history to find it and I accidentally found a bunch of weird titty bouncing compilations in my dad's watch history, which was disturbing. I don't know if it's a big deal or not since he's married, and I know some people would consider things like that cheating, but I didn't know whether to tell my mom or not, so I never did. Why is this so pure? Like, out of all the things he could have looked up on the internet, it was just titty bouncing. Because it could be so much worse, I'm like, aw, titty bouncing? What a good dad. So for context, in a 17-year-old female, there I still live with my mother and my sister, but my sister is 25 and has kids, so one day when I was home alone, I decided to have my boyfriend over. However, I like to occasionally act like a cat. By this, I mean I put on cat ears and a collar, crawl around on all fours, and play with cat toys and stuff. The only person that I knew I did this was my boyfriend, so when we had the house to ourselves, he was playing with me with one of those cat toys that have the stick and a string. And my sister came home, but we didn't hear her because we were distracted, and she probably heard me meowing and came into my room without knocking and obviously was confused and asked what we were doing. I just panicked, just said that I would pay her $20 to not tell my mom, so now my sister is blackmailing me for $20 a week to not tell my mom. Honestly, that's a steep price to pay to cover your cat fetish. Oh, that's not a great way to word it. Roleplay cat fetish. Stop paying her and let her tell your mom. You know, it's fine. We've all got something. Maybe your mom won't believe her? I don't know, $20 a week, that's a lot of money. And I feel like it perpetuates the idea that you should be ashamed of something that sounds like a fun time. I might try it later with my boyfriend. And I just told hundreds of thousands of people. So I hope that inspires you to let your mom in on your fetish so you can stop paying your sister. Meow. Every time I'm having a good day, my mom says something about my appearance and I get sad. I get it, I'm ugly, but it's partly because of you. I feel like there's a very common theme with moms being hypercritical about the way their children look, especially daughters. What a good comeback. Just be like, bitch, I look like you. Okay, so when I was little, maybe around 6 or 7 years old, I had this best friend and she would come over pretty often. So basically one night she came over and we were having a sleepover and in the middle of the night she takes her tablet out and asks me what I want to watch. I said Disney. Disney Channel. As the little kid I was, LMAO. Then as I thought she was going to be searching Disney Channel, she asks what movie I wanted to watch. I say Moana or some shit like that, and to my fucking surprise, she turns her tablet over and she's playing fucking whale porn. Like, what the fuck? I said Moana, not whales fucking. Yeah, me and her were not friends anymore after that, but as we got older and we turned around 14/15, her and her family got into a bad car accident. My mom is still in touch with her mom, and she ended up being in the hospital for a while. I felt bad about her broken bones, so I pretended to like her even though I was still traumatized from that one night. I will never get the image of whales fornicating out of my head. And now that you've mentioned it, all I can think about is what that looks like. Whale porn? I didn't even know that existed. Whale porn. I gotta go. Not look at whale porn.